Hello there. It's John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and these are six wonderful Renaissance songs from the album Azure Door. Before we get into it, as always, the song links are in the comments section below this video. So Azure Door is a D apostrophe O-R, which of course translates to blue and gold. It's an often overlooked and underappreciated album that the band Renaissance recorded in 1979, produced by David Henschel, who at the time had a stint working with Genesis. He worked on Trick of the Tail, Wind and Wuthering, Then There Were Three, and Duke. Not a bad run. And this was between Then There Were Three and Duke. He also did Renaissance's previous album, A Song for All Seasons. Now, what I thought is they've just done, late last year, a wonderful remaster of the album overseas. And I'm going to feature songs from the 2022 remix, which is beautiful. I think it's actually quite superior to the original mix. So here we go. And by the way, a song that would have been on here would have been The Golden Key, but that was on my my first thing I did on Renaissance. I thought I won't repeat myself on this one, but go back and listen to that one again so you get a seventh bonus thing. There you go. Song number one here, Jekyll and Hyde. Hey John, what is this song about? Perhaps it's about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And indeed it is. It sort of gives you a 4-minute and change version of the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was also the second single for the band off this album. And it's quite a nice number. I love Annie Haslam's vocal on it. I love her vocal on all the pieces here. So let's just get to that. Everything is splendid. The band at this time, this was the last album of the Primo lineup of Annie Haslam on vocals, Mickey Dunford on guitars, John Camp on bass, John Tout on keyboards, and Terry Sullivan on drums and percussion. There you go. And that was song number one, Jekyll and Hyde. Song number two is in fact The Winter Tree, which was the first single off of this album. And it has a real sort of timeless kind of feel about it. There's just something special about this number. It just touches my heart every time. It's one of those. It takes you on a journey. Truly, it's a wonderful piece. Song number two, The Winter Tree. What did I choose for song number three? Song number three is Kalinda with a K, subtitled A Magical Isle. And another one, I really think the vocal on this is particularly driving. Annie's hits some notes in there. The melody line is just gorgeous. If I'm not mistaken, this one was written by John Camp, the bass player. Some songs, a great majority of Renaissance songs are written by the team of Mickey Dunford and lyricist Betty Thatcher. What they used to do is they'd come up with an instrumental version of the piece they were working on, send it off to Betty, and she would send it back to them with full lyrics, and then there you go. But this was a John Camp song. I believe stem to stern. I don't know if did Betty do the lyrics on this. She might have, but she might not have, because John was delving into lyrics as well at that point. Regardless, the end result is bliss. So that is song number 3, Kalinda, A Magical Isle. Song number 4, Forever Changing. A wonderful song, I believe musically written by Terry Sullivan, the drummer, and I'm pretty definite that that's a Betty Thatcher lyric. Great harmonies, a relaxed feeling, nice and relaxed. A significant song at the time because Forever Changing proved to be prophetic, as not long after, they did some dates for the album, and then John Tout left, and because John Tout left, Terry Sullivan left. So they were indeed changing. Um, and you get that beautiful song number 4, Forever Changing. Song number 5 is Island of Avalon. This is not actually on the album proper, but this was the B-side of the first single, Kalinda. And it really should have been on the album. It's got some pep to it. It's an energetic piece. It just keeps moving. And a great kind of almost sing along sort of thing to it, because you pick up the chorus very quickly. It's a short number to begin with, and it's some mighty satisfying stuff. Song number 5, Island of Avalon, and we finish up with song number 6, which is The Flood at Lyon, and it also closes the album. Grand piece. I understand that John Camp, who wrote the song, was inspired by, I believe, a photo of a flood where he saw branches of a tree sticking out of the water and said, I'm going to write a song about that sometime. And he did, and it's a corker of a number. I had the pleasure of getting to hear it performed live by the band as well, and it really was a solid live number. It's a solid studio number. It's a wonderful piece, and it concludes our 6 wonderful songs. That is the song The Flood at Lyon, and that is 6 wonderful songs, wonderful Renaissance songs from the album Azure d'Or. Please do check them out. There's a lot of people that don't even know who Renaissance are. And R is the word. They're still going strong with Annie and different musicians. Annie Haslam still has a version of Renaissance. Mickey Dunford sadly passed away some years ago. Interesting note, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to Annie, but the last time I talked to Mickey Dunford was shortly before he died, sadly, from a brain aneurysm. And he expressed interest. He said that this was an album he would like to have performed the entirety of live with the current iteration of Renaissance. I wonder if Annie will ever decide to do that. I'm going to doubt it, because I know it's not one of her favorite albums. And also John Tout has passed away, and as has, I believe, Betty Thatcher has passed away as well. So that leaves Annie and John Camp and Terry Sullivan from the original members, and only Annie is in the current Renaissance, but when they perform, they sound absolutely wonderful. So and I think they're on tour this year, later this year. If you have a chance to see them, it's definitely worth your time. That's going to be it for now. Love to all. Hi to all. I know who my Renaissance friends are out there. So give this a listen. And by the way, while I've got you here, get this wonderful box. It's 2 CDs and a DVD, and not one but 2 booklets. So it's worth your time. It's worth your effort. If you don't have it already, get it, my friends. Get it. I love you. Bye bye.